Hi YouTube friends, my name's Christine and I'm here today to bring you a full body Vinyasa flow yoga class. So Vinyasa just means that at some points during this class we're going to be moving one breath, one movement, getting the body focused and centered in sort of like a moving meditation. We're going to be flowing dynamically, we're going to build the heat in our bodies, then we're going to come down onto the mat and cool down with some deep yoga stretches. So I hope you like today's class and we're going to go ahead and get started. So all you need for today's class are a yoga mat and some water and possibly some yoga blocks if you have them. I am going to use the blocks one on each side of my mat just for one sequence. So it's up to you whether you want to grab those or not. And we'll go ahead and get started. All right. Okay, so we're going to actually start seated on our mats today. So find what in yoga we call easy pose. So just a simple cross-legged seat here. You can rest your palms on the knees, gently close the eyes, and just take some inhales and exhales here. Maybe starting by breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Feeling rooted down through the hips and the legs onto the earth, onto your mat, and just arriving here in your space, letting go of your morning or your day so far. One more deep breath in, and exhale, open the eyes. I'm going to start to take some neck rolls. Just choose whichever direction you want to go, bringing that fully around in the front and then all the way around to the back. Just once more. We'll go ahead and switch directions. So bringing that neck around the other side, opening up the front and the sides of the neck. You can make this as big or as small as feels good in your body. All right, we're gonna hold here in the center with a neutral neck. I'm gonna start to bring that same circular motion into the body now. So just moving over to the left, bringing that front of the body forward, bringing it to the side, and then all the way to the back. So as we do this, we're opening up the chest in the front, rounding the spine a little bit in the back. And again, you can make these movements as big and slow or as small as you feel fits your body today. So our bodies are different day to day. Take it around to the other side. So part of yoga is just listening to your body and just letting it be where it's at today. And just finding that acceptance and forgiveness for ourselves can just be so freeing sometimes. All right, find that neutral space here. We're gonna tip forward into a tabletop position. So finding the wrists under the shoulders, knees straight under the hips. Go ahead and inhale, drop the belly, shine the heart forward. Exhale, round the spine. Bring that gaze into the belly button. Inhale, come forward, rise up. Exhale, round. I'm going to take that through 2 more times with your breath. Already starting to connect that breath and body movement here. One last time. Exhale, round. And then we're going to find that neutral spine, neutral space here. From here, we're going to extend the left leg long, right arm extends. So opposite arm and leg, just reaching straight out to opposite sides of the mat. As you inhale here, lengthen through the fingers and toes. And as you exhale, open that leg and arm to the side. Inhale, bring it back in. Exhale, slowly crunch elbow to knee. We're going to take that through a couple more times. Inhale, extend. Exhale, open. Bring it back in and crunch. You can take this through twice more, moving with your breath and always feeling free during this whole class to linger in certain poses that feel really good to you or to kind of take it up a notch and really get into that workout feeling. All right, we're gonna place, actually we're gonna keep that extension here. This time bend the knee behind you, reach around to grab your foot. Press the foot into the palm of the hand and then lift everything up off of the mat. So we're pressing away from the supporting knee and hand gazing up to the sky. Nice quadricep stretch here. Nice open chest. And release back to the mat. We're gonna find that neutral spine tabletop once more. This time extending through the right leg and the left arm. So keeping those hips square to the mat, wrist right under the shoulder, so we're not back here or up here, but right under that shoulder. Inhale, reach through the fingers and toes. Exhale, open it up to the side. Inhale, bring it back center. Exhale, slowly crunch elbow to knee. Find that extension. Bring it out to the side. Inhale, back in. Exhale, crunch. Take that through 2 more times with your breath. And in Vinyasa, we start to do the Ujjayi breath here, which is long and slow inhales and exhales through the nose. This can help to create heat and energy in the body and help you to focus your mind as we move through our practice today. All right, we're gonna hold that extension this time. Bend the knee behind you, reach the hand back, press the foot into the palm, and then lift everything up off of the mat. Feeling that nice length through the center of the body. Gaze up and release. All right, and I like to just start to tap the tops of my feet here, just waking up the tops of the feet. Feels good. We're gonna rise up to the toes and then shift the hips high and back to downward facing dog. So since this is the first downward facing dog of our practice today, you might want to pedal out the feet. The hamstrings always feel tight. No matter how much yoga we're doing or what we're doing in our lives, our hamstrings can really get tight and our calves can get tight. So it's really important to stretch those out when you can. All right, we're gonna let both heels sink back towards the mat. They may or may not touch. Hips are still high, chest lengthens down, and we're pressing into the mat with our fingers spread wide from those hands. All right, we're gonna gently walk the feet up towards the hands and hang out for a moment in a nice long forward fold. So this is just releasing all the tension off of that upper back and shoulders. You can clasp opposite elbows here if you want. Maybe sway a little bit side to side. Opening up the back and finding length all through the back of the legs. You can shake your head yes and no. And then release the fingertips back towards the mat. From here, we'll inhale, start to walk the hands up to the shins, and then walk them all the way up until you're standing. And we're gonna walk to the back of our mat and start our sun salutation A today. All right, so once you're at the back of your mat, just go ahead and find a nice grounded space through the feet. So we're feeling all 10 toes on the mat, all corners of the feet here. Nice grounded space into the earth. Inhale, bring the shoulders up towards the ears, and then exhale, roll them back down the spine with a nice open chest. Next inhale, soften the knees, sweep the arms up to the sky, and then we're gonna take an open arm twist to one side, just gazing back over those back fingertips. Inhale, rise center, maybe even a slight back bend here. Exhale, open arm twist to the other side. Inhale, bring it all the way back up, and then swan dive down towards the mat, forward fold. Letting those hands reach the mat once more, letting the head and the neck release. Inhale, walk the hands up the shins. Look forward with a flat back as you extend your spine, and then we're gonna walk it out to plank pose. So first plank pose of the practice here. I'm gonna take a minute to find our alignment, pressing back through the heels, wrap the inner thighs in and towards each other. So we're really engaging our legs here. Pull the belly button to spine, press away from the mat with fingers spread wide. We're gonna shift forward slightly here and then lower all the way to the mat, keeping the elbows close. And you can always take any modifications here. If you've had any shoulder injuries, sometimes it feels better to have your hands a little bit wider. That's up to you. All right, we're gonna press into the palms, lift the chest slightly, baby cobra. Exhale, lower down, rise to the toes, shift the hips high and back to downward facing dog. We're gonna walk the hands back to the feet, and we're gonna start to rise up slow and take that through 2 more times. So I'm gonna give you the freedom here to go ahead and take it at your own pace. So I'll guide you through once more. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, open arm twist. Inhale, come center, slight back bend. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale, rise, gaze up through those fingertips. Exhale, swan dive all the way down to the mat. Feel that nice length on the back of the body. Inhale, walk the hands to the shins, gaze forward. Exhale, walk it out to plank pose. Lower all the way to the mat. Release to the tops of the feet. You can come up to baby cobra again, or maybe this time you rise up even higher, or maybe all the way to upward facing dog, lifting those hips and knees off the mat, not putting them down because we don't want to pinch the lower back here, but we're keeping those legs engaged. And tip it back to downward facing dog. I'm going to let you take that through one more time at your own pace. Walk the hands back to the feet. Inhale, rise. Big shoulder roll and down the back. Here we go, friends. Finding that ujjayi breath here. Long and slow through the nose. And as you breathe out, you might find that you can have a slight constriction in the throat that makes the breath a little bit audible, almost like an ocean wave. And that can help to really kind of focus and calm our minds as well. Exhale, tip it back. We're gonna hold downward facing dog right now. All right, we're gonna move into our sun salutation B now that we're warmed up. So this will be our kind of hip opening and heat building portion of the class. All right, inhale, right leg goes tall. Exhale, bend the knee, opening the hip to the wide side of the mat. Inhale, square the hips, extend the leg, gaze to the hands, and then step that foot through to lunge. From here, we're gonna lower that back leg down, release to the top of the back foot, protecting the knee. Inhale, arms sweep up to low crescent pose. And if at this point you wanted to grab a towel or an extra support for the knees here, that's totally fine. Feel free to do that. Inhale, open up that hip flexor. Exhale, bring the hands down to the side. Inhale, left arm goes up and over towards that bent knee, opening up the side body. Then exhale, hands frame that front foot. Rise to the toe, lift the back knee. From here, we're going to straighten that front leg. Chest wraps towards the right thigh. Sink down into that back heel. Intense stretch. Start to bring the bend back into that knee. And we're going to step the left foot up to meet the right, crouching forward fold. Inhale, arms sweep up, Utkatasana chair pose. Lengthening down through the tailbone, growing tall through the crown of the head. Inhale here. Exhale, arms sweep back behind you as you rise onto your toes, squeezing those shoulder blades. Inhale, drop the heels, sweep the arms forward, and exhale, tip down to forward fold over straight legs. Nice job. From here, walk the hands to the shins, extend the spine. Exhale, step or hop back to plank pose. And you have lots of options here. So if you want to take out the chaturanga to upward facing dog and downward facing dog, you can just shift right back to downward facing dog from here. You can also take it all the way down to the mat, pressing up just a little bit into baby cobra. Or for a stronger option, you can lower just to hover over the mat. Inhale, slide through to the tops of the feet, keeping those knees and hips lifted. Then exhale, tip back over the toes, downward facing dog. So lots of options, and you can choose what you would like to do today. I'm gonna start that same flow on the left side now. Inhale, lift that left leg tall. Exhale, bend the knee, opening the hip to the wide side of your mat. Inhale, square the hips, straighten the leg, gaze to the hands. Then step that foot through to lunge. We're gonna lower the back knee, release to the top of the back foot. Inhale, arms sweep up, crescent pose. Exhale, arms come to the sides. Then the right arm comes up and over. Left fingertips reaching down towards the mat. Exhale, hands frame that front foot. Lift the knee and the back toe, straightening that back leg. I'm gonna straighten through the left leg here, chest wraps towards the left thigh, sink down and back into that right heel. Bring the gaze back forward, bend the knee, bring the right foot up to crouching forward fold. Keeping those knees and hips low, inhale, arms sweep up, finding that strong, powerful Utkatasana chair pose. So if you want to glance down at your toes here, make sure you can see all 10 toes. Weight is going back towards the heels, but we are hinged forward at the hips, keeping our weight balanced over the body. Inhale, reach tall through the fingertips. Exhale, arms sweep back as you rise onto the toes, squeezing those shoulder blades, open the chest. Inhale, heels go down, arms sweep back forward. Exhale, forward fold over straight legs. Inhale, walk the hands to the shins, extend the spine, look up. Exhale, step it back to plank pose. Choose your method of lowering down to the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, tip back, downward facing dog. I'm gonna move that as a flow now, just once on each side, Vinyasa style, one breath, one movement. Here we go. Inhale, lift that right leg tall. Exhale, bend the knee, opening the hip. Inhale, square the hips, straighten the leg, gaze to the hands. Exhale, step the foot through to lunge. Lower that back knee down, release to the top of the foot. Inhale, sweep up, crescent pose. Exhale, arms down to the side. Inhale, left arm sweeps up and over. Exhale, hands frame that front foot, rise to the toes. Inhale, straighten the leg, chest wraps towards the thigh. Exhale, bend the knee, step the feet together. Inhale, arms sweep up, chair pose. Exhale, sweep the arms back, rise to the toes. Inhale, lower the heels, arms go high. Exhale, forward fold, straighten the legs. Inhale, rise up with a flat back. Exhale, step it back to plank pose and lower to hover over that mat. Inhale, slide through, upward facing dog. Exhale, tip back, downward facing dog. Right. Inhale, lift that left leg tall. You can start to take it on your own if you know where we're going. We're gonna straighten that leg, gaze to the hands, and step through to lunge. Lower the back knee. Inhale, arms sweep up, crescent pose. Exhale, lower to the sides. Right arm sweeps up and over. Exhale, hands frame that front foot, lift the knee. Inhale, straighten the leg, chest wraps towards the thigh. Exhale, bend the knee, step the feet together. Arms sweep up, Utkatasana chair pose. This time we're holding right here, 5 breaths. So find your Ujjayi breath. Long and slow through the nose. Glancing down at those toes or straight out in front of you. One more inhale and exhale. Find that forward fold. This time we're gonna walk the hands to the shins. Exhale, step it back to plank, and then just shift right on back to downward facing dog. I'm gonna drop the knees wide, release to the tops of the feet, let the hips sink back to child's pose. Feeling a nice relaxing stretch through the back and reaching up through those fingertips towards the front of the mat. So we're in a relaxing yet still active child's pose here. Letting the body release, but still feeling that heat and warmth that we've created with our warm up and our flow so far. We're gonna rise up, grab a quick drink of water, and move on to our sun salutation C. So we've got one more standing balance section here, or if you're like me, you're reaching for your peppermint mocha, that's okay. Don't forget to drink water too. So we've got one more standing balance flow coming up, and then we're gonna bring it down onto the mat for our finishing poses. All right, so we're gonna start in that downward facing dog one more time. And this is where you might want to have those yoga blocks at the front and the back of your mat. You don't have to have them, but for some people it's helpful into one of the poses that we're gonna come into. All right, we're gonna inhale, lift that right leg tall. This time as you exhale, crunch the knee in towards the chest as you pivot the body forward. So we're hovering that knee right now, engaging our core. Step the foot through to lunge pose, and then pivot that back foot down at an angle. I'm gonna inhale, sweep the arms up. Warrior one pose, so hips are square towards the front of that mat. Sink down as you grow tall through those fingertips. Inhale here, and exhale, bring the hands behind you, clasping fingers behind the back, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades, then drop that chest inside the right thigh, letting the arms swing away from the body slowly. This is humble warrior, beautiful shoulder opener stretch here. Inhale, rise up, release the hands, and open them out to a T, warrior two. So now our hips are open to the wide side of the mat. I'm gonna glance down, make sure you can see your big toe past your knee. Warrior two pose right here. Then we're bringing it all the way up to star. Reaching those fingers and toes up and out to all corners of the earth. Bring the arms up over the head. Exhale, sink it down to squat, lower the hips, and then rise back up to star. I'm gonna pivot our feet now towards the back of the mat, bringing the arms to a T, palms down. Bend into that back leg. Back arm is gonna sweep down and bring you all the way up to crescent pose. So as you're in crescent pose, we're now on the ball of that back foot. Sink the hips down as you grow tall through the crown of the head. Exhale, hands come heart center. And we're gonna take flight onto that right leg in the back, warrior three. Squaring the hips, finding your drishti point to gaze at here. Inhale, warrior three. As you exhale, point that left foot down inside the right leg. We're coming to Shiva squat or curtsy lunge, depending on what you call it here. Exhale right here. Then we're gonna reach for that back foot and rise up to revolved dancer. So I'm gonna show that one more time. We started in warrior three. Exhale, step that foot back. Hand reaches for the back foot as you come up and extend to revolved dancer. Exhale, hands to the mat, leg stays high. This is where you can reach for your yoga block if you want. We're gonna pivot open to half moon pose. So opening up that hip as you externally rotate to the side of the room, either bringing your gaze forward or maybe up towards that hand. Exhale, come down to forward fold. That's a tricky balancing pose. So once we're moving this one breath, one movement as a flow, it actually gets much easier, believe it or not. Inhale, hands to the shins, extend the spine, gaze forward. Exhale, step it back to plank, your choice of how you want to move through to downward facing dog. I'm gonna exhale, lower to hover. Inhale, slide through, upward facing dog. Exhale, tip back over the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift that left leg tall. Exhale, bend the knee. Oh, actually, no, don't do that. Inhale, lift that left leg tall. Exhale, crunch, hover towards the chest. Step that foot through to lunge, and then pivot that back foot down at an angle. Inhale, arms sweep up, warrior one. Hips are square now to the back of the mat. Exhale, hands clasp behind your back. Inhale, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, lower down inside that left thigh. Arms swing away, humble warrior. Feel that nice stretch through the shoulders. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, open it up to warrior two. So hips are open to the wide side of the mat now. Glance down, make sure you can see that big toe. Inhale, find star pose. Hands touch at the top, and then exhale, lower to squat. Inhale, rise, star pose. Arms to a T, palms down. Pivot those feet back to the front of the mat. Bend into that right knee, warrior two. Back arm sweeps down and then up, bringing you all the way up to crescent pose. We've moved onto the ball of our back foot now. Exhale, bring those hands heart center. We're gonna take flight onto that right leg now. Warrior three. Find your drishti, point to gaze at. Exhale, step that foot inside of the right leg. Shiva squat, curtsy lunge. Hand reaches back for the foot. Inhale, extend, revolved dancer. Exhale, hands to the mat, standing splits. Grab that block. Inhale, open it up to half moon pose. Open up the hip, open up the body. Reach up tall through the fingertips. Inhale here, you got this. Exhale, bring it back down to the mat, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, extend the spine. Exhale, bring it back to plank. Lower to the mat, slide through, and bring it back to downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna move that through once each side, Vinyasa style. One breath, one movement, which makes it easier, friends. You got this. All right, inhale, lift that right leg tall. Exhale, crunch knee to chest. Place that foot down, angle the back heel. Inhale, arms sweep up, warrior one. Exhale, clasp fingers behind the back. Inhale, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, tip forward inside the right thigh. And then come on back up and release the arms, bringing them out to warrior two. Inhale, rise up to star, palms touch. Exhale, sink down to squat. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, arms to a T. Pivot the feet, warrior two. Inhale, back arm sweeps down and up, crescent pose. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, take flight, warrior three. Exhale, step back, Shiva squat. Inhale, reach for the foot, revolve dancer. Exhale, hands down, standing splits. Inhale, open up, half moon. Exhale, forward fold, feet together. Hands to the shins, half lift. Then step it back to plank. Move through chaturanga, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Should really start to be feeling that flow right now. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, crunch to the chest. Foot comes down, back heel pivots. Inhale, arms sweep up, warrior one. Exhale, fingers clasp behind the back. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chest. Exhale, tip forward inside the thigh. Inhale, rise up, release. Exhale, hands go out, warrior two. Inhale, rise up, star pose, palms touch. Exhale, sink down to squat. Inhale, rise. We're gonna pivot those feet to the front of the mat. Arms down, bend into that back knee, warrior two. Inhale, back arm sweeps down, brings you up. Exhale, hands heart center, crescent pose. Inhale, take flight, warrior three. Exhale, step back and in, Shiva squat. Inhale, grab the foot, rise up, revolve dancer. Exhale, standing split, gaze to the mat. Inhale, open up, half moon pose. Gazing up through those fingertips. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half a lift. Nice job. All right, we're gonna step it back to the mat. Hold this plank pose. We're gonna have one more heat building sequence here, and then we're gonna come into some nice, relaxing, deep stretching. All right, so we're gonna start a lunging plank here. I'm gonna go step out a little bit. All right, so we're gonna bring the right knee up, and then the left knee up. So I realize this is a bit awkward, but we are really going to open up the hips with this sequence here and get our heart rates up a little bit before we cool down. All right, hold that right knee up. Lift the right arm tall. Place that hand back down and step it back. Left leg goes up to the side. Lift the left arm tall. Bring it down and back. Couple more here. Right leg up, right arm down and back. Left leg, just do the best that you can right here in this moment. And the more you practice these moves, the better you will get and the stronger and more flexible you will feel. We've got 2 more times each side, then we're moving on. Left side. Lift and back. Make sure you're keeping that booty down, not up here, but straight in that line of the plank pose. All right, we're gonna lower down to the mat, bringing the elbows and the wrists in a parallel forearm plank, holding here, wrapping those thighs in towards each other, extending tall through the chest. This is our last push right here. Surrender all tension to the breath. You got this. 5 breaths here. Work through it. 3. You're stronger than you think. 2. And 1. Lower down to the belly. Slide through to the forearms. Fingertips go out in front. And just lift the chest slightly, finding a nice relaxing Sphinx pose here. All right, we made it through the tough part of the class here. And we're gonna come on down to the mat for some nice deep stretches. All right, so go ahead and lower that chest, bring the hands back by the sides. We're gonna press it back, opening the knees up and find a child's pose. So letting the hips sink back towards the heels. This time we're gonna really come into a restorative child's pose. So lowering those hands onto the mat, letting the chest sink down. Maybe your forehead rests on your mat here. And just taking a few moments to come back into our bodies, back into this space, calming the breath, calming the mind. A couple more breaths here. All right, and we're going to start to rise up. Find that tabletop position once more. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're going to inhale, lift the right arm open to the side. As you exhale, sweep that same arm under and through your body, lowering down onto that right shoulder and then extending long through that left arm. So we're looking up underneath the left arm here. This is thread the needle pose. Wonderful for stretching the sides of the back, the underarm, the shoulder. Sometimes these little areas that we have trouble remembering to stretch or just don't know the exact right position to kind of open them up. So this is a good one that's a little bit different and very relaxing as well. All right, we're gonna bring the top arm up, optional bind here, wrap it behind the body. Maybe you can even grab through to the thigh and hold here. One more complete breath. And then unbind that arm. Use the palm to press yourself up. And we're gonna take it through to the other side. All right, so finding that tabletop. This time lift the left arm open. Exhale, sweep it through and under the body. Inhale, extend that right arm long this time. Thread the needle on this side. So gazing up underneath that right underarm, feeling that nice stretch in there. So the hips are still high. We're bringing a little bit more blood flow into our brains now, which can also be very calming and relaxing for the body. Couple breaths here. All right, then we're gonna reach that arm up, take the bind. So coming around the body to the opposite thigh, reaching up and opening up that right shoulder here. Maybe even gazing up a little bit towards that shoulder. Exhale, bring the hand back down, press it up. And we're gonna find a downward facing dog. So find that downward facing dog. We're gonna walk the feet through and then lower onto the back. All right, we've just got a couple more poses to finish and then we are all done. All right, so we're gonna lay on our backs now and open up the heart and the backs of the legs in different poses. All right, inhale, lift those hips high, finding a bridge pose. So pressing down into the soles of the feet, down into the arms, and just lifting up in the center of the body. We're gonna start to connect breath and body movement again here. Okay, bringing our bodies and our minds into that moving meditation. So inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, lower down with the hips. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sink. I'm gonna take that 2 more times with your breath. And it's okay if you want to go a little bit slower or a little bit faster. Just move in a pace that feels good for you right now. All right, next time, arms stay down, hips rise. Finding that full extension bridge. We're going to clasp fingers underneath the back, squeeze the shoulder blades, and press down into the arms. Rising up onto the toes. See if you can lift a little bit higher into this bridge pose. We're gonna hold for 5 breaths here. Finding that ujjayi breath again. Slow and focused through the nose. Research has shown that it's so much more healthy to breathe in through the nose, filtering anything that we don't want into our bodies. All right, one more inhale here, and exhale, release down to the mat. We're gonna hug the knees to the chest, flex the feet here, extending out through the bottom of the heels, stretching out the Achilles tendons. We're gonna point the toes, stretching the tops of the feet, and then flex. Take one more point and flex here. We're gonna hold that flex of the foot, grab through to the backs of the knees, and rise up to Navasana boat pose. So here, legs are going out at 90 degrees. You can point those toes once more if you want to. Arms are going straight out, fingertips and toes reaching straight out, engaging the core here. Inhale and exhale. Next inhale, see if you can straighten the legs and lower the arms just a little bit, maybe leaning back just a tiny bit. You'll probably be getting into those shakes a little bit, but that is okay. You can do it here. 4 counts. 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're gonna open the knees, bring the soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose, grabbing through for those toes. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. And just take a moment here to find gratitude for your body, gratitude for our abilities to do these poses. And just thank yourself for being willing to try something new today. All right, even if it's not perfect or exactly what you thought it would look like, it's still good, right? We have to start somewhere. All right, we're gonna bring those legs out in front of us, flex the feet again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach down for the toes. All right. Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Let each exhale bring you a little bit further and more comfortably down into this strong stretch. And then start to rise up. All right, we're gonna hug the right knee to the chest, hover the foot. We're gonna pop it over the other leg and then hug that knee to the chest. Reach your right arm back behind you and gaze back. Or reach these twists here, opening up the hip. Bring that gaze back to the front, extend the both legs, and then hug the opposite knee to the chest. Hover that foot, pop it over the opposite leg, grab, hug tight, and then twist back, gazing back over that back shoulder. And bring your gaze back forward. We're gonna release and come on all the way down to the mat. For one nice good morning stretch, inhale, arms reach up overhead. Fingers and toes reach to opposite corners of the mat. Nice cleansing breath here. And exhale, bring the arms along the sides. We're coming into Shavasana, our final resting pose of the class today. And we're just gonna quiet the mind, relax the body. And if you'd like just a little food for thought for this Shavasana, I think especially in November, we can sometimes feel almost pressure to feel gratitude, to be thankful. And this has been such a difficult year for so many reasons this year in 2020. But we can always still find that happiness, that inner peace, that centered feeling right here on our yoga mat or wherever you are. Maybe you're just sitting in a chair, feeling the nice warm sun on your face. Maybe you're drinking a cup of tea, gazing out at the snow. Whatever you're doing, if you can just find that peaceful space that you have in your life and just enjoy being in the moment. Find somewhere where there's nowhere else you need to be. Nothing you're striving toward, nothing you're worrying about. Just release everything down towards the earth right now. Feeling supported and open. And just accepting your life and yourself just as you are in this moment. Feel free to take this Shavasana for as long as you need. If you want to do that, just go ahead and pause the video and just breathe and be in this space for as long as you need to be. If you're ready to start moving on with your day, go ahead and open your eyes. Go ahead and start to bring some soft, gentle movements into the wrists and the ankles. Eventually bending those knees, and then just coming over onto one side in a fetal position, supporting your neck with your arm. We're going to press into that palm, lifting up, and find an easy cross-legged pose. Couple breaths to finish here. All right, inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands, heart, center. 2 more times. Inhale, fill up completely, as much air as you can get. Exhale, this time release out the mouth, letting anything go that you just want to let go of today. Inhale, fill up with that life-giving oxygen, happiness, love, and light. Exhale, bring it through to the heart, and we are all finished. I hope you enjoyed my Vinyasa yoga flow today. Stay tuned for more videos on YouTube, and you can also catch me live in-person classes here at our local gym. All right, see you next time.